Oh, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Now, Kurt's convinced that Robert De Niro's on some kind of Epstein list or some kind of thing like that, and then he's afraid that if Trump does get power, he's going to expose him, and he is actually going to come at him.
Of course Kurt thinks
That's
that.
what Kurt thinks that.
Kurt thinks that about every thing that happens in the world.
I think Robert De Niro's just got Trump derangement syndrome.
I think he's old, too. There's a thing about old men.
And
they want to yell at everybody.
And he's completely... Did you see when he went and gave that speech outside of the trial? That was bizarre.
Who told him that was a good idea?
What happens when the world's most unpredictable podcast host goes full beast mode on Hollywood's grumpiest legend? Spoiler, it's not pretty. And it's definitely not Taxi Driver. Joe Rogan just unleashed a verbal jujitsu takedown on Robert De Niro so intense, not even Scorsese could have scripted the chaos. From fiery political rants to flexing over protein shakes, Rogan pulls 0 punches. Is De Niro done for? Stick around. This clash is more savage than De Niro's. Last stab at stand-up.
Why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
If you're going to come out and say that you have a really deep-seated hatred for one of the two people running for president, you can't just be, he's a bully, he's a piece of shit, I hate him.
He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has.
You probably, if you're going to express yourself about it and alienate 50% of the country, which it seems like it is, you're going to have to do better than that. You should have some specific things.
Robert De Niro. Once the undisputed king of gritty gangster epics, now the grand marshal of grumpy old man politics. He used to command the screen as a ruthless mob boss or a dangerously unhinged cabbie. These days, he's better known for rant-filled tirades that feel less like Oscar material and more like someone handed him the wrong script. Maybe from a bad reality show reboot.
Starts yelling at regular people. He's like, fuck you, you're a gangster. Go fuck you. Like,
it's crazy that that's the guy
what?
from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
You know what also I think those guys have no friends. I think the only friends they have are Hollywood phonies. And so you're in this weird world where everybody you talk to is a phony, and you become a phony, and everyone's a phony, and your grasp on reality is very slippery, and your eyes are going, right? Mm-hmm. So your vision of the world, your actual vision of the world, your ability to read a phone. You ever see old people's text messages? The fucking text on their phone is like as big as my hand.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And so your vision of the world is blurring, literally and figuratively, and then you're getting old.
Enter Joe Rogan, the man who turned a podcast into a cultural battlefield and just took a swing at a Hollywood relic. And no, this wasn't some polite jab. It was an unfiltered, verbal jujitsu beatdown so brutal, even the microphone probably flinched. Let's rewind. De Niro's career? Untouchable for decades. Oscars, iconic roles, legendary collaborations. He practically wrote the blueprint for being a cinematic heavyweight.
On stage in front of people with TV cameras pointed at you. You've never experienced that in your life, and you have a panic attack. It doesn't mean you're an idiot, and that's also Robert De Niro.
Yeah, you're in
It's
the wrong
same
element.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
right.
like, why is he talking about this? Why is he talking about this publicly?
Then, somewhere along the way, he traded the silver screen for Twitter tirades and political rants. Suddenly, De Niro wasn't just playing tough guys. He was the grumpy neighbor yelling at the world like he just discovered Facebook. It's as if he retired from acting only to take up a new role, full-time ambassador of outrage. And that's the scent Joe Rogan picked up from across the cultural octagon.
And when old people are tired and cranky, they just want everyone to listen to them, and they don't have time to have a calm conversation, and you state out your opinion, I'll state my opinion, let's see where we have common ground. Get off my lawn! And that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's being this old grumpy man that is so lost that he thinks it's a good idea to stand in front of a bunch of people on the street and give a speech on camera about how bad Donald Trump is. With all the shit that's going in the world.
That I know.
All the craziness of the world.
Right.
O'Gan's reputation is straightforward. The guy who went from cage fight commentator to the undisputed king of long-form conversations that can flip your brain like a pancake. His audience? Massive, loyal, and allergic to elite posturing. So, when De Niro started turning public appearances into political tantrums, it was only a matter of time before Rogan stepped in. But don't expect a polite critique. Rogan went full demolition mode, dismantling the Hollywood legend's hypocrisy with the precision of a UFC champ landing a clean knockout.
Robert De Niro, there's something about being a star where you think your opinion's more important than anybody else's, and you can go give a press conference, and he obviously has been very vocal from 2016 that he hates Trump for whatever reason. Maybe they have some personal thing.
You think Trump ever threw a punch himself or took one? This guy who ran and hid in the White House bunker when there were protesters outside? No way.
Now he's like holding press conferences. Now everyone's heckling him everywhere he goes.
That's so bad.
Like instead of just being this cranky old liberal, now you're this guy that is yelling at other people that are Trump supporters, and they're yelling at you. Like you've opened yourself up to this nonsense. Like why?
The same man railing against societal decay has spent decades lounging in multi-million-dollar mansions and soaking in Hollywood glitz. To Rogan's audience, mostly working-class people who deal with real-world struggles, De Niro's tirades sound less like righteous outrage and more like the disconnected whining of a celebrity sealed inside a bubble. It's textbook elitism, and Rogan pounced on it like a wolf catching the scent of fear.
I think he and Trump hate each other personally. I think that's
Really?
what that is. Yeah, I think it probably. What are the odds?
He
that
seems
doesn't run
mentally
into-
handicapped. I'm not kidding. He seems I don't know. I have a feel he doesn't know about. He was on Bill Maher. Bill Maher has him on to ask him. It's crazy if Bill Maher would ask him anything. You know, there's a National Guard in the fucking subways and shit.
Yeah.
So Bill asked him, "What do you think about it?" He goes, "I don't know. I don't know about that. If there's anything
Listen.
I can do to help,
All
I
you
guess."
should be asking Robert De Niro about is two things:
Yeah.
awesome movies and divorce.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
tell me what happened to
I would
you
love to ask him
with
about
the
that.
divorce. Tell me what happened if you want to talk about it, and tell me what happened to you with these awesome fucking movies. I don't need to know jack shit about his politics.
Rogan then lays out his takedown blueprint by zeroing in on a familiar target: cultural hypocrisy. Hollywood, for all its glitz and glamour, loves to preach about capitalism, corruption, and morality, all while swimming in cash and private jets. And De Niro? He's the poster child for this paradox, a man who's built an empire playing morally murky characters, now trying to play high priest of virtue. Rogan's logic is simple. If you've spent decades acting like a mob boss, don't act surprised when people don't line up to take your moral outrage seriously. But Rogan isn't just mocking De Niro's politics. He's flipping the script with comedic precision. He paints a hilarious image of the once intimidating star, known for intense glares and gritty roles, now reduced to shouting at the void from his mansion. It's practically sitcom material. The guy who once played cold-blooded killers now fumbling through Twitter rants like a confused grandpa trying to decode emojis. That exaggeration isn't just for laughs. It adds flair to the critique, turning it into a spectacle.
I mean, he's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, he's a dog, he's a pig, he's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care.
You didn't think this through. Like, this is, and he's getting yelled at. He's doing an outside press conference. Like,
Is that the country we want to live in? Do we want him running this country and saying, I'm not leaving, I'm dictator for life?
Robert, you're 80 years old. Don't ruin this thing. You've had this life where you were a raging bull. You know, you were in The Godfather. Like, stop doing this.
man.
Don't do this.
That contrast makes De Niro look like a relic from a bygone era, shouting from a pedestal no one listens to anymore. And in today's internet-driven world, relevance is everything. The timing couldn't be worse for De Niro. His ramped-up political persona arrived just as public trust in celebrity opinions is plummeting. Rogan's takedown doesn't just land, it taps directly into that cultural shift. He's not just criticizing De Niro, he's channeling the frustration of millions who see Hollywood's elite as out of touch, condescending, and lost in their I own echo chambers. It's a clean 1-2 punch. De Niro loses credibility, Rogan gains cultural clout, and Rogan's method? It isn't about shouting louder or diving into policy debates. It's about pulling the mask off the myth of celebrity. Wisdom. He doesn't need to exaggerate. He just highlights the contradictions, the gaping disconnect between the roles actors play and the lives they lead. The absurdity speaks for itself. De Niro's fiery persona starts to feel less like conviction and more like parody, a caricature of the angry, aging icon yelling into the digital void.
People that are doing it right now about Biden telling you how you should vote, even though you know he's impaired, you definitely shouldn't vote for Trump.
He has no understanding that I can see of the outside world other than anything around him. He has no idea of what his purpose in life is, as the president should be, and that is to pull the country together, to be for the people, to heal wounds, not to open them up and pour salt on them.
Don't tell people that, you idiot, because it's going to make more people angry and want to vote for Trump.
Joe Rogan doesn't just stroll into the ring tossing casual jabs. He shows up with a scalpel, a microscope, and a full demolition crew. This isn't a shout fest where voices rise but nothing lands. Rogan's style isn't debate, it's deconstruction. Surgical, precise, and devastating. He doesn't need to yell or get dramatic. Instead, he calmly peels back the layers of De Niro's self-appointed moral authority until what's left is a paper-thin shell flapping in the cultural breeze. Picture it. While De Niro's out there delivering angry monologues like an over-caffeinated Shakespearean actor, Rogan just sits back, poking holes in the script with cold efficiency.
You are not going to convince anyone walking down the west side of New York City talking into your phone about what a threat Trump is to democracy. You aren't changing anybody's vote. You're just being a condescending, scolding, liberal, which is what drives everyone crazy.
I always say he's a lowlife. He's a lowlife.
And then there's Rogan, casual, relaxed in his flannel, maybe sipping whiskey, calmly dissecting the same fiery rant for 20 million listeners.